Today we uncover the dirty truth about washing up liquid. The bottle in your hand can smell like lemons and look gentle, while the fine print warns of eye irritation, allergic reactions, and preservatives that turn your sink into a chemical drain. That is the lie behind the bubbles, and that is why this video matters. Number 8. EcoStore Lemon Dish Liquid, the water beater. You choose EcoStore because the name says eco. The packaging is minimal and clean, and you believe you are buying a product that is gentle on the environment, safe for your family, and effective at cleaning. You pay a premium because the word eco promises a higher standard of ingredient integrity and environmental responsibility. You assume that a brand with eco in its name has been held to stricter standards than the chemical-heavy mainstream brands. That's the bait. Here's the hook. In April 2026, Choice Australia published comprehensive laboratory test results that ranked 31 dishwashing liquids by cleaning performance. EcoStore Lemon Dish Liquid scored 55%. That is 10 percentage points lower than plain water, which scored 65%. EcoStore was the only product out of 31 that performed worse than water. The mechanism is that the formula is so weak, so diluted, and so lacking in effective surfactants that it cannot break down food oils and grease at a level that exceeds scrubbing with no detergent at all. The plant-based surfactants used in the formula are not concentrated enough to deliver functional cleaning power. According to Choice Australia's April 2026 media release, EcoStore Lemon Dish Liquid received a score of 55%, making it the lowest performer in the entire test and the only product to score worse than plain water. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You squeeze a generous amount of EcoStore onto your sponge, scrub your greasy dinner plates, and the grease does not break down. You add more product, scrub harder, run the hot water for longer, and still end up with an oily film on your dishes. You then have to re-wash everything, wasting water, time, and money. The financial sting is that you paid a premium price for an eco-branded product that cannot outperform water. If a bottle costs $6 or $7 and you use 3 times as much to compensate, your effective cost per wash is tripled. The packaging promises eco-friendly, plant-based cleaning power that is tough on grease. But the choice test data reveals a product that is literally worse than using nothing at all. Have you ever bought EcoStore and wondered why your dishes still came out greasy no matter how much you used? Tell me in the comments. If this has happened to you, I want to know about it below. Your story is the evidence that proves this is not a one-off batch issue. It is a structural failure of the formula. But if you think eco brands are the only problem, what comes next will show you that the discount chains are running the exact same scam with green paint on the bottle. Number 7. ALDI Green Action. Dishwashing liquid lemongrass and ginger antibacterial. The greenwash trap. You are at ALDI, doing your weekly shop. You see the green action label with lemongrass and ginger, and the word antibacterial gives you confidence that this product is both effective and naturally derived. The price is sharp, the branding is green and earthy, and you assume that ALDI's European efficiency model means you are getting a quality product at a lower price because they cut out the middlemen. You believe the natural-sounding ingredients mean the product is safer than the chemical-heavy brands. That's the bait. Here's the hook. In the same Choice Australia, April 2026 laboratory tests, ALDI Green Action Dishwashing, liquid lemongrass and ginger antibacterial scored 60%. That is 5 percentage points worse than plain water, which scored 65%. The product is marketed with natural-sounding ingredients and antibacterial claims, but the cleaning performance is so poor that it cannot outperform water. The mechanism is that the surfactant concentration is insufficient to break down food oils and grease, and the antibacterial claim is likely based on a minimal active ingredient that does not compensate for the weak cleaning base. The natural branding is masking a formula that is fundamentally ineffective at its primary job. According to Choice Australia's April 2026 media release, ALDI Green Action Dishwashing Liquid Lemongrass and Ginger Antibacterial scored 60%, below the 65% score achieved by plain water. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You wash your dishes after a family dinner, expecting the antibacterial claim to mean a thorough, hygienic clean. but the grease remains on the plates. The sponge goes flat and useless, and you end up re-washing everything by hand or running it through the dishwasher twice. The financial sting is that you bought a product based on green branding and antibacterial promises, but the formula is so weak that you would have been better off with hot water and a scrubbing brush alone. The packaging promises plant-based antibacterial power with natural lemongrass and ginger, but the choice data reveals a product that cannot beat plain water for basic cleaning performance. Have you noticed this with your own ALDI green action? Tell me in the comments. Comment yes if you have ever bought a green branded cleaner that turned out to be completely useless. Your experience matters because it exposes the greenwashing that is rampant in this category. But if you think one ALDI product is the exception, what comes next will change that assumption entirely. Number 6. ALDI Tandil Dishwashing Liquid Lemon. The discount deception. You grab ALDI Tandil because it is cheap, it is lemon scented, and you need a basic dishwashing liquid that will get the job done without costing much. You assume that all dishwashing liquids are basically the same chemical formula underneath, and the price difference between brands is just marketing and packaging. You tell yourself that detergent is detergent, and the ALDI version is the smart choice for a budget-conscious household. That's the bait. Here's the hook. Choice Australia's April 2026 tests found that ALDI Tandil Dishwashing Liquid Lemon scored 60%. The Tandil Ultra Antibacterial Lemon variant also scored 60%. Both are 5 percentage points below plain water. So whether you buy the standard lemon version or the Ultra Antibacterial version, you are getting a product that cannot outperform water. The mechanism is that ALDI sources these products through centralized contract manufacturers who cut surfactant concentrations to hit aggressive price points, leaving the consumer with a watery formula that looks like detergent, smells like detergent, but performs like coloured water with fragrance added. According to Choice Australia's April 2026 media release, both ALDI Tandil Dishwashing Liquid Lemon and ALDI Tandil Ultra Antibacterial Lemon scored 60% in laboratory testing, below the performance of plain water. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You wash your coffee cups, your cereal bowls, your cutlery, and the oily film from toast butter and bacon grease remains. You smell the lemon fragrance and assume the cleaning is happening because it smells like chemical activity, but the grease is not breaking down and the water is not emulsifying the oils. The financial sting is that you are paying $4 to $5 for a bottle of detergent that is functionally equivalent to water with lemon scent and yellow colouring added. The packaging promises ultra cleaning power and antibacterial protection, but the choice test data reveals a product that is structurally incapable of outperforming plain water. Have you ever bought ALDI Tandil and felt like you were just washing with scented water? Drop your experience below. I want to know how many people have already figured this out. But if you think ALDI is the only discount chain selling watery detergent, what comes next will show you that the major supermarkets are doing the exact same thing with their own branding. Number 5. Coles Ultra Concentrate Dishwashing Liquid Lemon Burst. The supermarket failure. You are already at Coles doing your grocery shop. You need dishwashing liquid, and the Coles home brand Ultra Concentrate is right there at the end of the cleaning aisle. The word Ultra Concentrate tells you it is powerful, dense, and long-lasting. The lemon burst sounds fresh and effective, the price is competitive, and the bottle looks substantial. You trust that Australia's second largest supermarket chain would not put its own name on a product that was fundamentally useless at cleaning. You assume the Ultra Concentrate label means more active ingredients per milliliter. That's the bait. Here's the hook. Choice Australia's April 2026 tests found that Coles Ultra Concentrate Dishwashing Liquid Lemon Burst scored 60%. That is 5 percentage points below plain water. The product is labelled as Ultra Concentrate, which implies a dense, powerful formula, but the laboratory testing shows it cannot outperform water. The mechanism is that the Ultra Concentrate label refers to the recommended dosage and the smaller bottle size, not the actual cleaning power of the surfactants inside. The formula has been engineered to look concentrated while delivering diluted performance, using just enough surfactant to produce bubbles and fragrance while failing to break down grease. According to Choice Australia's April 2026 testing, Coles Ultra Concentrate Dishwashing Liquid Lemon Burst scored 60%, below the 65% achieved by plain water. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You follow the dosage instructions, squeeze a small amount into hot water, and watch as the grease on your frying pan refuses to lift. You add more, scrub harder, and still end up with an oily residue that requires a second wash or a rinse under boiling water. The financial sting is that you are paying for a product that carries the Coles brand promise, but delivers performance below that of water. If you are using twice as much to compensate for the weak formula, your cost per wash doubles and your frustration multiplies. The packaging promises ultra-concentrated lemon burst cleaning power, but the Choice data reveals a product that cannot beat plain water. Have you noticed this with your own Coles home brand detergent? Tell me in the comments. If this has happened to you, I want to know about it below. Your experience is the proof that the supermarket's own brand is not a safe choice. But if you think the supermarket brands are the only ones failing, what comes next will show you that the eco category has been running a much longer con with much better marketing. Number 4. Earth Choice Dishwashing Liquid. The eco fraud. You choose Earth Choice because the name says earth. The packaging shows plants, leaves, and nature imagery, and the product claims to be plant-based, biodegradable, grey water safe, and Australian made. You want to reduce your chemical footprint, protect your family from harsh cleaners, and support an Australian brand that claims to care about the environment. You pay a premium because the eco-credentials seem genuine and the branding is consistent across multiple products. You believe that Earth in the name means the company prioritizes the planet over profit. That's the bait. Here's the hook. In 2018, Choice Australia tested Earth Choice Dishwashing Liquid and it scored 28%. That made it the worst performer out of 30 commercial products tested and significantly worse than scrubbing with warm water alone. In the April 2026 Choice tests, Earth Choice Ultra Sensitive Dish Liquid Fragrance Free scored 60%, again below plain water. So across multiple years, multiple product variants, and multiple rounds of independent laboratory testing, Earth Choice has consistently delivered some of the poorest cleaning performance in the entire Australian market. The mechanism is that the plant-based surfactants used in Earth Choice formulas are not strong enough to break down food oils and grease effectively. The eco-friendly ingredients are masking a product that simply does not clean. And the biodegradable claim is irrelevant if the product cannot perform its basic function. According to Choice Australia's 2018 testing, Earth Choice Dishwashing Liquid scored 28%, the lowest of 30 products tested and worse than warm water. Choice Australia's April 2026 testing found Earth Choice Ultra Sensitive Dish Liquid Fragrance Free scored 60%, below plain water. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You buy Earth Choice because you care about the environment and want to make a responsible choice, but your dishes come out greasy, your glasses have streaks and water spots, and you end up using twice as much hot water and 3 times as much product to compensate for the weak formula. The financial sting is that you are paying an eco premium, often $6 to $8 per bottle, for a product that cannot clean effectively. You waste money, water, energy, and time while believing you are making a responsible environmental choice. The packaging promises plant-based, biodegradable, environmentally responsible cleaning that is tough on grease. But the Choice data reveals a product that has repeatedly failed to outperform plain water across multiple years of independent testing. Have you ever bought Earth Choice and felt betrayed by the eco branding? Comment the word yes below. Your experience is the proof that greenwashing is not just a marketing trick. It is a systematic deception that costs you money while making you feel good about being exploited. But if you think poor cleaning is the only problem, what comes next will show you that some brands are not just useless. They are actually toxic. Number 3. Palmolive Ultra Strength Dishwashing Liquid, the chemical cocktail. You buy Palmolive because it is a brand you grew up with. The green bottle is familiar and comforting, and the Ultra Strength label promises serious cleaning power for greasy pots and pans. You trust the brand because it has been in Australian kitchens for decades. The advertising has always shown happy families and sparkling dishes, and the price is mid-range, suggesting quality without the premium markup. You assume that a brand with this much history would not risk its reputation on a product that was genuinely harmful. That's the bait. Here's the hook. According to product safety data sheets and ingredient analysis from multiple consumer safety databases, Palmolive dishwashing liquid contains sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium laureth sulfate, and in some variants, formaldehyde-releasing preservatives such as DMDM hydantoin or bronopol. It also contains fragrance compounds including limonene and linalool, which are known skin sensitizers. The mechanism is that SLS and SLEs are harsh anionic surfactants that strip natural oils from skin, causing dryness, cracking, irritation, and dermatitis with repeated exposure. The formaldehyde releasers slowly release formaldehyde into the product to prevent bacterial growth. But formaldehyde is a known carcinogen and respiratory irritant. The fragrance compounds mask the chemical smell of the surfactants while adding their own allergenic potential, creating a product that smells clean but damages your skin barrier. According to the material safety data sheet for Palmolive antibacterial dish liquid, the product contains SLS, SLOS, and fragrance compounds. The Environmental Working Group and ethical consumer databases have flagged DMDM hydantoin and bronopol as formaldehyde releases with potential carcinogenic effects. Choice Australia's social media posts have identified benzisothiazolinone as a skin sensitizer found in some dishwashing liquids that may cause eye damage, skin irritation, and allergic skin reactions. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You wash dishes every evening after dinner, and after a week, your hands are dry, cracked, and itchy around the knuckles and cuticles. Your skin burns slightly after each use, and you find yourself reaching for hand cream more often. The citrus fragrance smells strong and clean, but it is masking a cocktail of irritants that are stripping your skin barrier and exposing you to formaldehyde-releasing chemicals with every wash. The financial sting is that you are paying $5 to $6 for a product that cleans effectively, but damages your skin and potentially your respiratory health in the process. The packaging promises ultra strength, trusted family cleaning, and tough grease cutting. But the ingredient data reveals a chemical cocktail that trades your skin health for cleaning performance. Have you ever used Palmolive and noticed your hands drying out, cracking, or developing a rash? Tell me in the comments. If this has happened to you, I want to know about it below. Your skin reaction is the proof that the chemicals are doing real damage. But if you think Palmolive is the only skin irritant on the shelf, what comes next will show you that Australia's top-selling brand is hiding the exact same problem behind a different colour bottle. Number 2. Morning Fresh dishwashing liquid, the sensitizer secret. You buy Morning Fresh because it is the top-selling dishwashing liquid in Australia. The advertising promises ultimate grease-cutting power and brilliant shine, and the concentrated formula means one bottle supposedly lasts for thousands of plates. You see it in every supermarket, every television ad break, and every cleaning aisle end cap display. You assume that popularity equals quality, that market leadership means the best product, and that a brand with this much visibility would not hide dangerous ingredients from millions of Australian families. That's the bait. Here's the hook. According to product ingredient listings and safety databases, Morning Fresh contains limonene, tetrasodium EDTA, and benzisothiazolinone. Limonene is a fragrance compound derived from citrus that is a known skin sensitizer and can cause eye irritation, skin irritation, and lung irritation. It is also very toxic to aquatic life. Tetrasodium EDTA is a petroleum-derived chelating agent that helps the formula work in hard water, but raises environmental concerns about persistence in waterways. Benzisothiazolinone is a preservative that Choice Australia has identified as a skin sensitizer that may cause eye damage, skin irritation, and allergic skin reactions. The mechanism is that these ingredients work together to create a powerful grease-cutting formula, while simultaneously exposing your skin, eyes, and respiratory system to sensitizers and irritants every single time you wash a dish. According to Product Review Australia Ingredient Analysis and Choice, Australia's social media posts, Morning Fresh contains limonene, which causes sensitization, skin, eye, and lung irritation, and wildlife and environmental toxicity. Choice Australia has also identified benzisothiazolinone as a skin sensitizer that may cause eye damage, skin irritation, and allergic skin reactions. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You squeeze a small amount of morning fresh into hot water. The bubbles rise quickly and the grease cuts through fast. But your hands are in that water for 10 to 15 minutes. And the limonene and benzisothiazolinone are absorbing through your skin, irritating your cuticles, drying your nail beds, and potentially triggering an allergic reaction or contact dermatitis. If you have sensitive skin, eczema, or existing dermatitis, this product is actively making it worse with every wash. The financial sting is that you are paying $6 to $7 for a concentrated formula that damages your skin and poisons aquatic life when it goes down the drain into your local waterways. The packaging promises ultimate grease-cutting power, brilliant cleaning, and long-lasting value. But the ingredient data reveals a product loaded with skin sensitizers and petroleum-derived chemicals that harm both you and the environment. Have you ever used Morning Fresh and noticed your hands getting irritated, red, or your skin reacting? Drop your experience in the comments right now. I want to know how many Australians have already been burned by this so-called trusted brand. But if you think Morning Fresh is the worst offender, number one is the brand that has been hiding in plain sight the longest, behind the cutest packaging and the biggest advertising budget. Number one, Fairy Dishwashing Liquid, the trusted toxin. You buy Fairy because it is a Procter & Gamble brand with global recognition. The packaging is bright and cheerful with that iconic baby image, and the product promises to be tough on grease while gentle on your hands. You see it in every major supermarket. You remember the television ads from your childhood showing soft hands and sparkling dishes. And you trust that a multinational corporation of this size would not sell a product that was genuinely harmful to millions of Australian families. You pay the premium because the brand feels safe, familiar, and trustworthy. That's the bait. Here's the hook. Fairy Dishwashing Liquid contains sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium laureth sulfate, fragrance compounds, and preservatives, including methylisothiazolinone and benzisothiazolinone. According to the Ethical Consumer Guide and Shop Ethical Australia, SLS and SLEs may be contaminated with 1,4-dioxane during the manufacturing process, which is a known carcinogen. The fragrance compounds in Fairy include limonene and linalool, which are known skin sensitizers. The preservative methylisothiazolinone has been linked to severe allergic reactions, contact dermatitis, and immunotoxicity. The mechanism is that Fairy uses the same harsh surfactant base as other major brands, adds a thick, pleasant fragrance blend to create the impression of gentleness and safety, and preserves the formula with chemicals that are known to trigger severe allergic responses in a significant percentage of the population. According to Ethical Consumer UK and Shop Ethical Australia, SLS and SLES may be contaminated with 1,4-dioxane, which is a known carcinogen. The Environmental Working Group has flagged methylisothiazolinone as a high concern allergen and immunotoxicant. Choice Australia's social media posts have identified benzisothiazolinone as a skin sensitizer that may cause eye damage, skin irritation, and allergic skin reactions. Here's what that means at the kitchen sink. You trust Fairy because it feels gentle, smells pleasant, and cuts grease effectively. But every wash exposes your hands to SLS and SLES that strip natural oils and potentially carry carcinogenic contaminants, fragrance compounds that sensitize your skin and trigger allergies, and preservatives that can cause severe dermatitis and immune system disruption. If you have children helping with the dishes, their skin is even more vulnerable to these chemicals because children's skin barriers are thinner and more permeable than adult skin. The financial sting is that you are paying a premium price, often $7 to $8 per bottle, for a globally trusted brand that is functionally identical to the chemical cocktails sold by its competitors, with the same irritants, the same hidden risks, and the same petroleum-derived base. The packaging promises tough on grease, gentle on hands, and trusted family cleaning. But the ingredient data reveals a product that relies on harsh surfactants, allergenic fragrances, and controversial preservatives to deliver its performance while trading your skin health for marketing appeal. Have you ever used Fairy and experienced skin irritation, dryness, or an allergic reaction? Tell me in the comments. And here is the question that splits this audience. Do you think Fairy or Morning Fresh deserves to be called out harder for hiding skin sensitizers and petroleum-derived chemicals behind trusted family branding? Tell me down in the comments. Now, stop for a second, because before we get to the 4 safe alternatives, you need 90 seconds on the system itself. Because this is the part that makes every single ranking on this list suddenly make sense. The Australian dishwashing liquid market is controlled by a handful of multinational corporations who use 3 structural tricks to maximize profit while shifting risk to the consumer. The first trick is the surfactant dilution game, where the active cleaning ingredients are reduced to the minimum level that still produces bubbles and fragrance, allowing the product to look like detergent while delivering water-level performance. This is why 4 out of 8 products tested by Choice in 2026 could not beat plain water. The manufacturers know that most consumers equate bubbles with cleaning power, so they add just enough surfactant to create foam while stripping out the concentrated cleaning agents that cost money. The second trick is the greenwashing loophole, where terms like eco, plant-based, biodegradable, and natural are unregulated marketing claims that require no independent verification of cleaning performance or environmental safety. A product can be genuinely plant-based and genuinely useless at cleaning, and there is no Australian law stopping the manufacturer from selling it at a premium price with a green leaf on the label. The third trick is the ingredient opacity system, where companies are not required to list the specific concentrations of surfactants, fragrances, or preservatives on the label, and where complex chemical names are buried in tiny print that most shoppers never read. This means you cannot tell from the packaging whether a product contains enough cleaning power to work or enough irritants to harm your skin. These 3 mechanisms together create a market where the best-selling brands are often the most toxic, the most eco-branded products are often the least effective, and the consumer has no way to tell the difference without independent laboratory testing or detailed ingredient research. First, Simply Clean Lemon Myrtle Dishwash Liquid. This is structurally different because it is Australian-made and family-owned in the Northern Rivers region of New South Wales, and the formula is explicitly free from sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium laureth sulfate, PEGs, parabens, mineral oils, and methylized thiazolinone. According to the product specifications from Simply Clean, the formula uses pure Australian lemon myrtle oil as the active cleaning and antibacterial agent, with no artificial fragrances and no petroleum-derived surfactants. The practical reason it deserves your money is that you are buying a genuinely toxin-free product that cleans effectively using natural essential oils without stripping your skin, triggering allergies, or polluting your grey water system. You can verify the ingredient integrity because the company lists exactly what's in the bottle and exactly what is not. Second, Wash Wild Dishwashing Liquid. This is structurally different because it is 100% plant-derived, grey water safe, septic safe, and made in Australia using a proprietary blend of Australian plant oils. According to Woolworths product listings and the Wash Wild brand specifications, the formula contains no petroleum-derived surfactants, no synthetic fragrances, and no harsh preservatives. The practical reason it deserves your money is that it cuts through grease using natural plant-derived surfactants while remaining safe for your hands, your septic system, and the waterways that receive your grey water. It proves that effective cleaning does not require petrochemicals or skin irritants. Third, Kin Lime and Eucalypt Dishwashing Liquid. This is structurally different because it is Australian-made, palm oil-free, vegan, and uses coconut-based surfactants with no sodium lauryl sulfate, no alcohol ethoxylate, and no linear alkyl benzene sulfonates. According to Replenish Refill product specifications, the formula is biodegradable, septic safe, and grey water safe, with a base of rainwater, coconut surfactants, and essential oils. The practical reason it deserves your money is that it delivers effective grease cutting without the harsh petrochemical surfactants that damage skin and aquatic ecosystems, and it comes from a small Australian manufacturer rather than a multinational chemical giant that treats your kitchen sink as a profit centre. Fourth, Basisto's Lime and Eucalyptus Dishwash Liquid. This is structurally different because it is plant-based, biodegradable, Australian-made and owned, and uses pure eucalyptus oil from Bosisto's own farm in Inglewood, Victoria, combined with lime and orange essential oils. According to product specifications, the formula contains no synthetic fragrances, no harsh petrochemical surfactants, and no toxic preservatives. The practical reason it deserves your money is that you are supporting a Victorian farming operation that grows its own eucalyptus oil, processes it locally, and delivers a genuinely natural cleaning product that outperforms the chemical cocktails while protecting your skin and your local waterways. You are buying from a farm, not a chemical factory. If you take away one single practical thing from this entire video, take this. When you're standing in front of the dishwashing liquid aisle at any supermarket, do not look at the colour of the liquid. Do not look at the fragrance name. Do not look at the eco claims or the antibacterial promises. Look at the label for 3 specific things. First, check the ingredient list for SLS, SLES, and formaldehyde-releasing preservatives such as DMDM hydantoin or bronopol. If you see these, put the bottle back. These are the chemicals that strip your skin, trigger allergies, and release carcinogens into your home. Second, check whether the product claims to be concentrated, but does not specify the surfactant concentration or the active ingredient percentage. If it just says ultra concentrate without telling you what is actually concentrated, it is likely a marketing trick to make a weak formula seem strong. Third, flip the bottle and look for the Australian standard AS4351 biodegradable claim, or better yet, look for specific plant-based surfactant names rather than vague eco-branding. If the label says plant-based but lists petroleum-derived surfactants like SLES, the eco claim is greenwashing and the product is not what it pretends to be. If you want to test your current dishwashing liquid at home, fill 2 identical glasses with warm water, add the same number of drops of your current detergent and a plant-based alternative. Then add a teaspoon of cooking oil to each. Stir for 10 seconds and let them sit for 30 seconds. The product that breaks the oil into tiny droplets and disperses it evenly through the water is the one with effective surfactants. The one that leaves the oil floating in a distinct layer on top is the watered-down formula you need to replace immediately.